pé àti bẹ̀rù làgbọ́gbọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká dọ̀la. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ni ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ òkìkí lọ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀.
Hello guys, thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much for joining our day 13. Guys, you have to love and like what we're doing so that we can avoid the evil. While we've been able to reduce the number of Igbo on our YouTube channel. We removed 560 of them who have tried all possible means to try and appropriate, to try and constitute nuisance to what we do here and every other time. But we're not going to allow them to get away with this. So we removed 560 Igbo who are on my YouTube channel. What we have done, we allow them to watch, but they cannot make comments because they are here to distract us and try to constitute nuisance to what we do. So why they are doing this is that they know that we are waking up the mind of the young Yoruba all across the world to protect the interests of our homeland. So this way, they want to continue to constitute nuisance to us. So that's why we have to do it. I'm sorry, I came live 3 minutes before 5 o'clock. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. So you have to love and like this. You have to love and like it. Now, I would like to say something to the Yoruba who have been campaigning, wasting their time, energies, and money to campaign in favor of the HENSAS. Well, it's a rude failure for you because the Hausa Fulani have upped their game. They have upped their game. They have refused to listen to you because they believe that you can only protest. You cannot fight back with the use of weapons. So what the Fulani have done now is that because there's been too much outcry over the killings of the young Yoruba by the Fulani police, they have approached an English company. And then I cannot conclusively verify this information before coming on here, but I do have a competent source who has provided us with this information. The Fulani are worried about the incessant killings of the Yoruba youth by SARS, rather than for them to allow regional governments, whereby each federating nations within Nigeria can control their police and their military, as well as their courts, their infrastructures, and have their own constitution, like we have in the United States of America, like we have in UK. The Fulani do not wish that, but they want to reduce the casualty Yoruba that has been killed. So they have approached a company in England, TISA UK. I've been trying to confirm that. I got this information early in the morning, but I cannot independently confirm this. If I can confirm this independently, I will have spoken authoritatively about this. But this is still very relevant. The information we've obtained is that TISA UK will supply TISA to the Fulani police and their SARS. TISA is also a form of firearms. So when you fire it, it's going to release some electric shock into you. But there's one factor into this. TISA is produced in America, obviously. But there's a marketing company in UK that is marketing it for the Nigerian police. They are called TISA UK. So what we have been told is that the Fulani police, they are not Nigerian police, forget it. The Fulani police have procured X26 TISA. X26 TISA is obsolete. There is no country where they are using it. But unfortunately, the police in England, they have stockpile of this obsolete TISA. And this has now been sold to the Fulani police to further kill your children. It has been confirmed that TISA has resulted in a number of deaths across the world. But it actually discharges electric shock into people's body that can shock them for a particular few seconds so that they can be arrested. So rather than the obvious killing that the SARS has been doing for years, the Fulani have approached the English company to supply them with this TISA to further kill Yoruba youths. It's going to kill you because it's going to discharge electricity into you. Now, what does this imply? It means that the Fulani are so scared to allow this feudal system to crumble. They want to maintain the hold of this feudal system for as long as it takes. And they have been successful for 53 years. For 53 years, this unitary system has been with us. 53 years. The question we should ask ourselves is this. Why must Awusa Fulani come from Sokoto, Kano, Kaduna, Kebbi, Jigawa, Zamfara, and Katsina states to work as policemen, policewomen in Lagos, Ekiti, Kwara, Kogi, Osun, Oyo, Akoko Edo, and the rest of the Yoruba states? Why? Are they saying to us that there are no qualified professional Yoruba who can be our police officers? Amen. There are. But gun is the best weapon to suppress and subjugate anybody. When the English came in 1851 to suppress the Yoruba, they came with guns. When the Romans enslaved the English, they came with guns. Gun is a choice of weapon that you can use to suppress anybody. I can tell you authoritatively that, like I used to say, if Oni of Ife disparage Buhari because Buhari has appropriated the presidency of Nigeria to favor his own Fulani, Buhari will get Oni of Ife in prison. There's nothing anybody can do. That is the power of the unity system, because Buhari controls the police and the military. But if we have a decentralized system, a regional system, Oni of Ife can caution the Yoruba police service, our own regional police. Oni of Ife can tongue lash the elected Prime Minister of Yorubaland. He would never dare to arrest Oni of Ife or imprison him, because under regional government, Oni of Ife will be the Governor General of the Yoruba Western region, like the head of states of the Yoruba Western region. But under this unitary system, Buhari can put Oni of Ife in prison. There's nothing he can do about it. There's nothing any one of you can do. So this is one reason why the Fulani do not wish to give up the power. So now they procure TISA from UK companies. And do you know where they get the money to buy this weapon from this UK company? It is your money, Yoruba. The money realized from Yorubaland and from the Niger Delta. Fulani don't have any money. Fulani don't have any wealth. Likewise, the Igbo, their best friend. Both Igbo and Fulani do not generate any wealth. This is the truth. All the politicians in Hausa Fulani land, including their traditional rulers, if we are practicing regional government, Fulani will not be able to pay the salaries and allowances of all their traditional leaders and their political leaders, including governors, deputy governors, senators, House of Representative members. Fulani cannot generate money to pay their salary. How much more to pay for the civil servants, including the police, the military, who are going to be working in Hausa Fulani land, and those who are going to be working in their civil service. The same thing is applicable to the Igbo nation. If we go back to regional government, Igbo will not be able to pay the salaries of their elected politicians and their civil servants. They do not generate money. Igbo will not be able to pay the salaries and allowances of their police, of their military. They will not. These two guys are parasites. And if you look across the world, there is no nation on planet Earth that has been so successful based solely on mineral and natural resources. So that's why I'm going to talk about oil, land, and water today. America became what it is today because of its innate capital, brain power, human capital. England became what it is today because of its ingenuity, its people ingenuity, brain power. China is what it is today because of its human capital, brain power. Russia is what it is today to live and work because of our brain power. God has endowed everybody across the world with human capital, brain. So it is left for the leadership within the society to harness this human brain to make their respective country great. What is the essence of having cocoa if you cannot turn it into chocolate? What is the essence of having cotton if you cannot turn it into clothing? What is the essence of having crude oil if you cannot turn it into petroleum products? It is human capital that makes society great. The Igbo lack human capital. The Fulani lack human capital. But it is unfortunate that only the Yoruba nation on this planet Earth, a very brilliant civilization, are people that could conceive the idea of a religion of Ifa, a people that could be so developed to build their society. They are the only nation on this planet Earth to be subjugated by inferior civilization like Fulani and the Igbo are doing. Fulani has now procured teaser from a company in UK to use it to kill Yoruba children. If you look at the police, it is Fulani who are there working in Yorubaland. That is colonization. English did the same thing to us. You look at the military in Yorubaland. Go to the military bases across Yorubaland. The official language there is Hausa in Yorubaland. This is subjugation. Don't let anybody bullshit you and tell you that natural resources is what makes a nation great. A people who has crude oil, who cannot turn it into petroleum product, can never be great. A people who have cocoa, who cannot turn it into chocolate, can never be great. People who have timber, rubber, who cannot turn it into car tires, can never be great. What makes a country great is its human capital, brain power. That was why Awolowo invested in the education of the Yoruba nation and gave us education. Unfortunately, our parent generation acquired brilliant education, but they have been suppressed and subjugated by inferior civilization, Fulani. But Fulani are one step smarter than us, even though they are crude. They always enlisted the support of the self-serving career politicians in England in order to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. So they now have TISA to kill your children further. The solution to SARS killing is the decentralization of Nigeria. The solution to ethnically motivated violence is the decentralization of Nigeria. The solution to poverty in Nigeria is the decentralization of Nigeria. The solution to underdevelopment in Nigeria is the decentralization of Nigeria. When we talk about decentralization of Nigeria, we're talking about a return to the regional system of government. If you look at our banks, there are banks that are Yoruba banks. GTB is Yoruba Bank. Igbo have their own banks. Hausa Fulani have their own banks. Our banks are established based on our ethnicity. If you look at our churches, Redeemed Christian Church of God, just to look at the Pentecostal, it's Yoruba Church. Winners Chapel is Yoruba Church. The other church whereby people tumble inside dirty water, it is the Igbo Church. They call it God choosing or something. It's Igbo that you see predominantly there. Hausa Fulani have their whole church as well. So we establish our church along ethnic lines. If you look at our educational sector, it is also established along ethnic lines. Why is this so difficult for the Fulani and the Igbo to allow a return to the regional government? It is not difficult for them. The Fulani have the backing of the English. It is the backing of the English that is making Fulani to be bold, not to allow a return to regional government. The Igbo is conscious of one fact. If we ever return to regional government, the Igbo will be reduced in Yorubaland. They won't come to Yorubaland. That is the honest truth. They will be treated worse than human beings in Yorubaland, and it is within our right to do so. The problem of the Igbo is that they lack human capital. So they have thought about this reality and realized that a return to regional government will never favor them because they lack human capital. They cannot develop on their own. Our leaders who ascribe Igbo to being industrious is wrong. Oni of Ife is totally wrong. Check the dictionary for industrious people, people who are. So the Igbo have concluded in their mind that they can never be great without attaching themselves to Nigeria, without attaching themselves to Biafra. For me, I tend to believe it because they lack human capital. That is why it is easy for them to get involved in drug, knowing fully well that they are going to be killed. That is why they easily sell their kidney because of money. People who lack human capital can never think straight on how to make money, to create wealth. They don't have the idea. That is why it is easier for them to get the start-up capital of their business from proceeds of crime. I want to challenge Young Yoruba. Let me say something to you, and I will say very clearly. Check the world history. It is the people willing to kill that the world respects. Look around. If you are unwilling to kill when you are being subjugated, the world will not respect you. People who are willing to kill are respected by the world. Fulani are always ready and willing to kill to protect the presidency in their favor. Igbo are always ready and willing to kill. That is why they easily go into all kinds of criminal activities across Yorubaland to kill and decimate us. I said yesterday, we the Yoruba nation, we are the only people. That's why I don't really blame a number of people. MKO Abiola won an election, a Yoruba citizen. His election was unknown. He was summarily arrested. His wife was assassinated. His businesses were destroyed. And he himself was assassinated. Yoruba did not fight. Yoruba did not go to war over this. Now, you ask African America to do that to the least white American citizens. You will see the rate of white Americans will kill them. When President Obama was in power, you not alive then, the white police summarily shot and killed African American on a weekly basis because they said that they want their country back and they were willing to fight for it. That was why they were attacking black every now and then. We watch it in the news. Since President Trump came back to power, do you see that happening? No, because they now have their country back, because they have their own man in power. It has nothing to do with racism. It's everything to do with self-preservation, because Obama was trying to take their country away from them. America belongs to white people. You cannot dispute that. I'm not ready to get involved in any argument with you. Black people are minority in the United States. White people are majority. You can never have minority ruling over majority. There will be crisis. But what do you have? MQ Abiola was killed, his wife was assassinated, he himself was assassinated, and life moves on. What I believed in and what the Yoruba generation believed in, believe you me, if we kill people, the world is going to respect us. Because people who kill MKO, the Fulani, what has happened to them? They are still in power up till now. So guns are it's a powerful means to defend your civilization. So what I'm encouraging the young Yoruba to do, we have said this time without number. You have Curtis group in your university. You can have access to guns when you want to kill yourself. It is now time for you to use these guns to kill the police in Yorubaland and EFCC officials in Yorubaland who are not Yoruba. You will see that they will give you regional governments. Now, because of the noise you are making, they have imported teaser from England and paid for by Yoruba money. Money from our income tax, money from our education tax, money from our information technology tax, money from our capital gain tax, money from our petroleum profit tax, money from our withholding tax, money from our stamp duties, money from our value-added tax, all the taxes that we are paying in Yorubaland, money from the sales of our crude oil, money from our custom duty paid through our ports, money from our waterways. Fulani use this money to give to English, to buy a weapon, to kill your children. So it's a challenge to all of you Yoruba who are in our university, polytechnic, colleges of education. You have guns when you want to kill yourself. You should use that gun to kill Hausa Fulani police officers and EFCC officials. They have procured teaser to kill you further. Because this thing kills. It kills too. But if you continue to fold your hands, you will be showing weakness to the world. The world does not respect those who are weak. It is those who are strong that are respected across the world. Look at what is going on in Syria. Look at what is going on in Venezuela. It is because the Syrian government has the backing of Russia and China. That is why America, Britain, France, and Germany have been unable to remove al-Bashir, the leader of the Syrian government. He has been there because he has the backing of Russia and China. Look at what is going on in Venezuela. The United States of America does not like the president, Maduro. But what happened? He's still there because he has the backing of Russia and China. The Fulani are still in power today because they have the backing of the irresponsible, self-serving career politicians in England. If the Yoruba leader continues to look down on America, we will never be free. That was why I said to you here, what is the relationship of the Yoruba and Lebanese people? The Yoruba and Lebanon has no close tie relationship. But we allow the Lebanese to control most of our businesses across Yorubaland. If anything is going on wrong to the Yoruba people, what is the power of the Lebanon to speak on our behalf in the international community? They have no such leverage. People who you can never gain anything from. You don't allow them to dominate your space. You don't even cut courtship with them because life is about self-interest. You cannot go and become friendly with somebody that is going to destroy you. You form relationship with somebody that is going to improve you. Self-interest matters. If we allow and relate with the state of Israel, the same way Awolowo did when he was the premier of the Yoruba Western Nigeria, the same way Akintola did when he took over from Awolowo, if we form relationship back with the state of Israel and we support the state of Israel, they will speak on our behalf in the international community, particularly to the United States. And I'll tell you what happened now since Buhari in England. We got from good authority because I get a lot of information. The information I have provided about the TISA, I cannot independently confirm that. But I believe that information. But I cannot confirm it independently. The weapon has been procured through TISA UK. And the government said, oh, we're not going to use gun to kill these people. We're going to be using electric shock. They want to use electric shock. Imagine if the office of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò is in charge of the police across Yorubaland, and just one police man shot and kill a Yoruba citizen. You know who is going to go? It is the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò that will be removed. Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò will not want to be removed, so he will give a stern and clear warning to all the police officers and military men across Yorubaland. But Fulani don't want that freedom for you because they have the backing of the English. So to our university undergraduates, you have the weapon, you have the guns. This is the time for you to attack the police in Yorubaland and the EFCC official who are arresting our children. Don't attack any Yoruba police officer. Do not attack any Yoruba EFCC official. But Igbo policemen in Yorubaland, kill them. Hausa Fulani and Igbo EFCC officials in Yorubaland, kill them. It is within Yoruba. They have been killing the Yoruba forever. And they are refusing to allow us to police our home community. So we must kill them because they have refused justice. And injustice everywhere, you know what they say. There will not be peace. There will not be peace. Now, the information we're getting, why the English want Buhari for 10 days. They are saying to him to allow some trickle-down regionalism. They are so scared about the growing Yoruba nationalism. So that is what Buhari might likely do in the next couple of months. So they are sending the awareness in favor of regionalism is growing. You have to allow some trickle-down adjustment. But in all, you know, they don't trust Tinubu from here to there. They don't want Tinubu to hold power. They don't want Oshibadu to hold power. They are trying to assassinate Oshibadu too. They don't like Fashola too. Don't think all these three people that I have mentioned have no clue about what I'm saying. They have more information than we do. But some of the people do reach out to us and give us information because they know that we are making impacts. So what the English are telling the Fulani is to allow some trickle-down regionalism. But we can say one thing to the English. We can defeat you in Yorubaland, believe me. There's no contest about it. And how are we going to defeat the English? We're going to sever their business interests. Because one thing is this, you cannot be in my space making profit, not just ordinary profit. We're talking about stupendous profit, and you do not wish to support my political interests. So we're asking the English, move your businesses to Hausa Fulani land. You can even cut the friendship of the Igbo. We care less. We, the Yoruba, we want to be friends with the state of Israel. We want to be friends and have super special relationship with the United States of America. We want to have good relationship with the Portugal. The Portuguese people are very fantastic people. We have been having relationship with them since 14th centuries. But that relationship ended after 18th centuries. We want to rekindle that relationship now. We want to have super special relationship with the Scandinavian countries. We don't like the English. They are not our friends. They are not our partners. So we want the English out of our space. And that is what is going to be their lot. It is their business interest that we will bring down. You know how the English are going to behave, folks. They will ask for international sanction against us. We're smart because we're Yoruba. What we want is that we don't want to have a relationship with English, but we want to have a relationship with America. Rather than have Guinness, Nigeria, which is English business, we can have another beer company from America to come and be producing beer, and we send away Guinness. Rather than have Standard Chartered Bank be operating in Yorubaland, which is English business, we bring in an American bank to come and take their place. That is what we want to do. We want to pick and choose our friends, and we do not wish to have friendship with the English because they are irresponsible. They are the people who are giving military support to the Fulani. That's why I said to them, when they say to you in their country, oh, you go back to your country, you say to the English politician, let Nigeria break, and we have Oduduwa Republic. 80% of Yoruba living in England will return home. 80% of us, they will return home. So when the English tell nonsense to you and say, oh, go back home, tell them these truths. Who want to sit in a society whereby you cannot attain your full human potential? So that is what they are saying to Buhari, that he should allow some trickle-down effects so that this agitation for Yoruba nationalism can die a natural death. But the awareness is growing. It's not going to go down. Look at what is going on in the Northern Ireland. Look at what is going on there. There is political and sectarian division in that country. Northern Ireland is part of the region. In the UK, the Nationalist Party, who are predominantly Catholic Irish, they are always supporting the nationalist parties. See, this is what I said some time ago about tribes and nationalists. Those of us who want Oduduwa Republic, those of us who want regional government are actually nationalists because Yoruba nation is not a tribe, it's a nation. So I am a nationalist, a Yoruba nationalist, because I want Oduduwa Republic, because I want a return to regional government. In UK, the Scottish who want Scotland out of the UK, they are not called tribes, they are called nationalists. It is the same thing in Northern Ireland. There are two major parties, the Nationalist Party and the Unionist Party. The Nationalist Party are the Irish who wants Northern Ireland to be part of the Republic of Ireland. The Unionists are the Irish who are predominantly Protestant, who want the Northern Ireland to remain part of the UK. So there is no tribalist there. If you want your nation within Nigeria to break out of Nigeria, you are a nationalist. There's no tribalists. People are so stupid. So that is what is going on in the Northern Ireland. The nationalists who are predominantly Catholic saying that they want to be part of the larger Republic of Ireland. The Unionists who are Protestant say no, they would like to remain part of the UK. Because of this disagreement, Northern Ireland were given a region of their own to govern their own. That was what was in the Good Friday Agreement. So what happened? In 2017, that agreement broke down. The Nationalist Party opted out of the government. As a result of their withdrawal, the government collapsed. Since January 2017, there has not been any government in Northern Ireland. And then against the Good Friday Agreement, the English got involved in the Northern Ireland affair by bringing DUP, which is the Unionist Party, to form a coalition government with them so that Theresa May can be in power. Because of all of this, the nationalists opted out of government. The government of Northern Ireland collapsed since 2017. This is 2019. The English made a terrible mistake, threatening the Northern Irish that if they do not agree to form a government, they will bring Ajele from England to impose himself on them. What happened, folks? Young Irish who are nationalists, it's young Irish who want Northern Ireland to get out of the UK. they started blowing up everywhere. There was, in the last summer, 6 days of riots. There was car bomb, and recently there was a gun battle between this nationalist Irish and the police in Northern Ireland. This resulted to the killing of a journalist. And people are now saying, look, the problem is coming back. This is what nationalists do all across the world. The people they call white supremacists in America, they are actually nationalists who want to protect the United States of America for white people, and they have legitimate right to do so. Because they are the majority, because they build America. So Young Yoruba, you cannot continue to allow Fulani to be in charge of your police. You have legitimate right to kill. That is the honest truth. You are nationalists. Nationalists fight with guns. That is when you are going to be respected. Look now, Fulani have gone to the English to procure teaser guns, stun gun they are going to use to kill you, Yoruba, because Fulani are controlling your police. But where are they getting the money to pay the English to acquire this weapon? They are getting the money from Apapa Wolf. They are getting the money from Tinkaport. They are getting the money from Lagos International Airport. They are getting the money from Lagos Stock Exchange. They are getting the money from our crude oil. They are getting the money from our taxes. If you blow up Apapa Wolf, you blow up Tinkaport, you blow up Lagos Stock Exchange, or you blow up the Lagos International Airport, Fulani will not get money to acquire a weapon to kill you. So you can no longer be saying, oh, Oni of Ife is not supporting you. You think if I'm holding chemical weapon and Oni of Ife is talking rubbish to me, you think I'm not going to kill him with my chemical weapon? Oni of Ife will never dare you when you have a weapon to kill. He will listen to you and respect you. Look, Oni of Ife made the ridiculous allegations or assertion about Ajay, right? Since SARS has been Yoruba, have you ever heard anything from Oni of Ife? He will not talk because Fulani control the guns. But Oni of Ife will not openly tell you to go and acquire a weapon. But if you do, Oni of Ife will back you up. Because it's also, Fulani are scaring Oni of Ife because they control the military and the police. If you, Young Yoruba, you have the guns that the Fulani are having, you think Oni of Ife will not side you. But you have shown to the world that you don't have the weapon. So you don't have the weapon. Oni of Ife will try and be guided not to rock the boat of the Fulani who has the weapon. If Oni of Ife has expressed an opinion about SARS, and Oni of Ife has stated that no, we have to end this, we want Yoruba police service, you think that will not be trending across the world? It will. But why is it that Oni of Ife is not making such open statement to condemn SARS? Why? Because Fulani who are killing you have the guns. But the Oni of Ife is not saying anything about that. You're just being killed. Your leaders will never speak up. Look at what happened in Northern Ireland. Young Northern Irish, 16, 17, 18, 19. Young guys shot and killed a journalist. Look at what is going on now. Everybody is coming up together to resolve the political problem. Because there is a vacuum in government. If there is a vacuum in government, other vices will come in. Oni of Ife will not stop us from killing people, from using guns. When we cannot work in our own police in Yorubaland, when SARS are killing our youth, EFCC officials are killing our youth, when we cannot work in our own immigration in Yorubaland, when we cannot control our home port, when we cannot control our custom, and we started killing people, and Oni of Ife will say we have done wrong, we're going to kill him. That is the honest truth. It happened in France. I made a post about 10 head of state across European countries that are kings. They still have their kings. France no longer have kings because their kings were so ridiculously hopeless. The people were suffering, they did nothing. So the people killed all of them and turned France into a republic. Oni of Ife is not having an opinion about SARS killing. It's not speaking up against the fact that Yoruba cannot police Yoruba community. It's not speaking out against the fact that Yoruba cannot work in the military in Yorubaland. It's not speaking out against the fact that our custom is being controlled by Fulani. Our waterways are being controlled by Fulani. The tax revenue paid in Yorubaland have been taken to Abuja. Oni of Ife is not having an opinion about that. But Oni of Ife is talking about Ajay, something that is not even true, something that is propaganda. Why? Because you have no guns, Yoruba youth. If you kill, everything will change. You change the narration. The world will only respect those who are willing to defend their civilization. Fulani take your job. What did you do? Nothing. Fulani have taken every military position in Yoruba. You did nothing. And you're saying your leader, oh, Oni of Ife, he's not speaking up. Alaf, he's not speaking up. Ariel Nagaganfu, he's not speaking up. You are blaming your leader. You, the youth, what have you done? I'm giving you an example of what is going on in Northern Ireland. Young boys went out with guns and bombs, fucking blew up everywhere. Now they want to try and get government back. And then the leaders of the nationalists are saying that they have done a poll. Poll is saying that 60% of Northern Irish want a unification with the Republic of Ireland. Because DUP got involved with the English politicians to put Theresa May in power. The nationalists are saying they don't want to be part of the UK anymore. They are not just talking in their mouth. They are killing people. If you kill, that is when the people will take note of what is going on. How can you have PhD, a Yoruba citizen, and you cannot work in our ports with your PhD, you cannot work in our waterways, you cannot work in our police, you cannot work in our military, you cannot be in charge of our revenue in Yorubaland, you cannot work in our airport, you have PhD, but Fulani who have never been to school are the people in charge of all the jobs in Yorubaland. Then you now move down to England and working as a security guard, and you think that that is the best you can do for your children and children's generation. If you have taken to guns, Fulani will have withdrawn from all these positions they've occupied. But you escape abroad and you are serving white people as slaves, and you expect change to come. You expect change to come from that. I watched a guy and a lady, she's an Igbo lady, she spoke out against people university. She simply said that if you are Nigerians, you will never get. So there was another guy who did a argument on his own video. He said, and I agree with the guy. The guy said, look, let me first of all say what the lady said. The lady said that if there are 100 jobs, that the English will employ all their own, they will then employ Europeans from other European countries, and then the jobs that are left. When these people were defending their own country, where were your parents and grandparents? When the English were building their own country, you want to come into England and you just pick up the job? You want to have equal rights and privileges as English? It is only Yoruba that are thinking like mad people. Igbo come into our space, they take everything from us. Fulani come to our space, they take all over our jobs. Foreigners who come into our space, we call them expatriate. Am I not a foreigner in England? Are they calling me expatriate? They call me immigrant. But you see foreigners who are immigrants in Yorubaland, we call them expatriate. It is only Yoruba that don't understand self-preservation. The guy did a counter video to counter that Igbo girl saying that people should not go to UK university. When you come as a student to UK university, you should be able to go back after your study. You cannot be absorbed within the system because they have their own children too. This is the problem that the Yoruba don't understand. Igbo will talk about one Nigeria. They are killing you in your own space. And they talk about one Nigeria. Are you going to Igbo land? Fulani have taken over all the jobs. Now Fulani have acquired teaser gun to kill you. They don't want to decentralize the police. But if they decentralize the police, it is only Yoruba that will be policing Yoruba land. Armed robbery, other crimes will reduce because it will be our own children who are going to be in charge of our policing. Do you expect our children to be killing us? So that is what is going on. The English are not comfortable, I can tell you. Look, they know that they are going to lose Nigeria. But how do you make the English to lose Nigeria? You cut the friendship of the Americans as well as the Israel. the state of Israel. It is very important. What we are doing is this. Currently, Fulani and the English are taking 90% of our wealth. 90. They are only giving us back about 8% of our wealth. We go to America, we give them 10% of our wealth. In return, we keep 90. America will accept that deal. But if you continue to live this miserable life, it will be worse for our children's generation. It will be definitely worse for our children's generation. It will be worse if we don't kill. Believe you me, nobody will take us serious. And then some people have said, look, you don't know that when you go to court, judges listen to the arguments before they make their final pronouncement. If you pick up a gun and kill Igbo in Yorubaland and kill Fulani in Yorubaland, and then peradventure you are arrested, they are going to ask you why. They will ask you the reason behind your action. They will not just say, we're going to kill you because you kill people. No. And if you go to court, they ask you, why have you done that? They said that we agreed to regional system of government in 1957 to 1959. And we signed into an agreement, which is the Constitution of Nigeria. That constitution became practicable on the 1st of October 1960. What we agreed to was a regional system of government based on parliamentary system. You then say to the judge that in 1966, the Igbo single-handedly suspended that system by killing your people. You won't have to make reference to Hausa Fulani. Give them the names of the Yoruba leaders that were killed, led by Akintola. And you will then say in court that a year after that decision was made by the Igbo to kill our people and destroy the system, our leader, led by Awolowo and other Yoruba leader, made a statement to the public that they want a return back to regional government. And you say in court that this has been going on for 53 years. You will then say to the judges, as a graduate, you cannot work in the police in Yorubaland. You cannot work in the immigration in Yorubaland. You cannot work in the port in Yorubaland. You cannot work in the custom in Yorubaland. You cannot do anything. That all the federal jobs in Yorubaland has been given to Hausa Fulani. And you give brilliant excuses. You say you get fed up about life because in your own space, in your own ancestral land, you are now a second-class citizen. That if you do not kill these people, your children will be worse off. You will be free because what you are saying is the truth. No Yoruba can go to Kano, Kaduna, Sokoto, and the rest of Hausa Fulani land and be policing them and be controlling their military and be in charge of their governance. No Yoruba will do that. No Yoruba armed robbers, kidnappers will go to Igbo land and be killing people the way the Igbo are doing it. Young Yoruba need to understand basic thing about self-preservation. If you kill, you will be free and you will be respected by the world. Look around you. Everybody is talking about Rwanda. Rwanda. Go and read the history of Paul Kagame, their president. He was killing to defend his people. Is today their president. And everybody is talking good about him. Somebody that was killing people. He did it to defend his own people when his people were being killed. Every now and then, Hausa Fulani police are killing Yoruba and we are going to church. Every now and then, EFCC officials are killing Yoruba children and we are going to mosque. None of these two will help you. Saudi Arabia don't pray to Muhammad. They use guns. The people of Israel defend their civilization with the use of guns. This is very important. It is very important. We cannot all blame the English for their action. The English are just doing business. But we can destroy their business in Yorubaland. It is within our right. The generation of the English that enslaved my parents and my grandparents are not the generation that I'm dealing with. So I do not see the generation of English who are my peers to be superior to me. David Cameron is not superior to me. Theresa May, the Prime Minister of Britain, she's like a stark illiterate where Tinubu is speaking. She doesn't have the brain of Fashola. Theresa May doesn't have the brain of Yemi Osinbajo. Who is Boris Johnson? Boris Johnson was their former Secretary of State, of Foreign State. Boris Johnson cannot stand beside Fashola. That is the honest truth. So why will you be scared of ordinary English who are not your superior? And they dictate for you. Theresa May doesn't have my kind of brain power. And she's the Prime Minister of Great Britain. She cannot even negotiate ordinary Brexit. She can't negotiate it. She doesn't have the kind of brain that I have. So why should I look up to these people as if they are superior to me? Their great-grandfather may have colonized my grandfather, but I wasn't born into slavery. So what we're saying to Young Yoruba is this: if you do not pick up guns to defend Yoruba civilization, your situation you are now, your children's situation will be worse off. The problem of Nigeria is simple. Igbo, they suspended that system. If you look at the body language of the Igbo since this election ended and the body language of Hausa Fulani, folks, you are missing something. You are mixing something. This guy, the governor of Delta State, made a statement recently. He said that if the South-South join the Southeast, then they will have Biafra. This guy is Igbo. The governor of Delta State is Igbo. He has been dividing the Ishakiri land by making kingdom, appointing kings. We note that. Now he's talking about South-South. Edo, Urobo, the whole of Delta State, Bayelsa State were all part of Western region. But he's opening his mouth and says something that if the South-South joins Southeast, then Nigeria will break. It's an Igbo guy. Urobo people don't want Biafra. Edo people don't want Biafra. Ogoni people don't want to be part of Biafra. Efik people don't want to be part of Biafra. That guy is Igbo. You have to note that statement. You know what Tanko Yakasai or somebody said? That the restructuring they want is the whole regional government, whereby the North will be one block. So you see these guys, they are scared of what is coming up. The Igbo and the Fulani, they are always working to suppress and subjugate others. They are scared of what is coming up. The 1959 constitution that we agreed to, there was a proviso there in that constitution. The proviso was that the three regions that has been so created, the Western region, the Eastern region, and the Northern region, will subsequently allow the minority within these three respective regions to have their own region. That was the constitution of Nigeria before independence. So the Hausa Fulani spoke up and said that the restructuring they want is to go back to that one North. The Igbo are speaking up and said that they want South-South to be part of their Biafra, to steal other people's wealth. Hausa Fulani want to subjugate Kanuri, want to subjugate Nupe, want to subjugate Junkun, want to subjugate other ethnic groups. The Igbo are targeting the wealth of the Ijaw, they are targeting the wealth of Ogoni, they are targeting the wealth of Efik. You understand? So this way, they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want the unity system to be suspended. They want to continue with the unity system. Now, they are now getting the inclination that the Yorubas, we are going to break up the country. They are so scared of Tinubu. That's why I get frustrated about these horrible liberals. Now, what am I saying? In the Constitution of Nigeria of 1959, there was that proviso. That was why in April 1961, Awolowo, as the opposition leader, went to the House of Representatives. He raised the motion that he wants the Edo people, Urobo people, Isoko people, Ika people, Aniocha people, Ijaw people who were not Yoruba, but they were part of the Western region. He wants them to have their own region. Very decent man. Then he said that in Eastern region, the Ijaw, the Ogoni, the Efik and other must be made a region of their own out of the Igbo. He said that the Kanuri in the north must have their own region. He said Nupe people must have their own region, Junkun people must have their own region, and that the Yoruba in the then Ilorin division and Kaba division be part of the Western region. That was what was put in the Constitution of Nigeria in 1959. So a few years, just under 1 year after Nigeria had independence, I will now move a motion that I want the minority to have their own region. So you see, why Nigeria is having a problem is because Igbo and Fulani lack brain power. They cannot develop on their own. They want to steal what belongs to others. We are going to kill ourselves, I can assure you. You see, the awareness of the Yoruba is growing. We will be able to negotiate. Particularly, we'll be able to speak with the United States of America. Because from our videos, from our research, Young Yoruba have the knowledge to negotiate now. It is good for you to have the brain to negotiate. And that is going to come. It is going to come, folks. It is going to come. Let me sharpen your insight to what I title oil, land, and water. Oil, land, and water. The Yoruba, we have crude oil. We only have 20% of the crude oil in Nigeria. The remaining 80% belong to the people that we call South-South. So crude oil is the free gift of nature by Almighty God for those people who made up what we call South-South. Igbo has no crude oil. Awusa Fulani has no crude oil. The people in the Middle Belt has no crude oil. The Kanuri people has no crude oil. They have no crude oil. So the crude oil of Nigeria belongs essentially to the Yoruba nation 20% and the South-South 80%. But you know something? This is the free gift of nature, but the federal government controls this crude oil because the Igbo suspended regional government. Before 1966, the federal government wasn't in charge of the crude oil. There is crude oil in America, crude oil in Texas, crude oil in Alaska, crude oil in California, but this crude oil are not being controlled by President Trump. But President Buhari controls the crude oil of the Yoruba. He controls the crude oil of the people of the South-South. Crude oil, free gift of nature. You know that water is also free gift of nature. It is not as if we created it. 90% of Nigeria waterways belong to the Yoruba nation. From Lagos down to Ogun State, from Ogun State to Ondo State to Ishekiri land, that is about 90 to 95% of the Nigerian waterways. God, in his infinite mercy, gave the Yoruba water. Free gift of nature. Do you know that before 1960, we, the Yoruba, we were in charge of our own waterways. In 1975, Muritala Muhammad, a Fulani man, took possession of our waterways because of the unity system introduced by the Igbo. In 1978, Obasanjo, who is an Igbo man and a stooge of the Fulani, through his Land Use Act of 1978, he appropriated all our land and turned it into government land so that he can take away all our land from us, our waterways from us. Do you see that? Now, what belongs to us, the Yoruba nation, the water, has been taken away from us. God, in his infinite mercy, he gave the Hausa Fulani an expanse of land. They have huge landmass. Their land is not being controlled by the federal government. As a matter of fact, they put in the Constitution, 1999 Constitution, that they are going to use their land as part of the variables we're going to use to share money that does not belong to them. So you can see the cheating. The South-South crude oil is being controlled by the federal government because the Igbo introduced the unity system. The Yoruba waterway is being controlled by the federal government because the Igbo introduced the unity system. The land that belongs to the Hausa Fulani is not being controlled by the federal government. You can see the cheating that is going on. The Igbo brought this upon everybody. The intention of the Igbo was to control everything that belongs to everybody. That was why they centralized everything. The Fulani have now been taking advantage of that. Since the Igbo-handed regional government, they have always desired one thing, the retention of the unity system. They don't want that system to change. I can guarantee you, if we are able to exterminate Igbo across Yorubaland, believe you me, the world will respect us for it. And the world will support us. The state of Israel is doing the same thing. If they are not killing the Palestine will be bombing them every now and then. Look at the League of Nations that fought against the state of Israel. 6-day war. All the Arabs gang up together against these people. But they have the backing of the America. They won that battle. They want to protect that which belongs to them. Sorry, when are we going to start protect that which belongs to us? Fulani put in the Constitution of Nigeria, Section 162, subsection 1 and 2, that we are going to use land mass to share money because they have their largest land mass. Nobody controls their land. Their land is owned by their people, but they control our waterways, but they control our crude oil. Think about it. Oil, land, and water. There's too much injustice. Where there is injustice, there is no peace. It is because we have not been killing. When we start killing, the English will support Fulani. Don't miss it. The English will support Fulani, but we are going to destroy English businesses across Yorubaland. They fought against Hitler and they died. We are willing to defend Yoruba civilization. That is the only way they will respect us. But what do? They harass our obas and our politicians. They threaten them with police. They threaten them with military because they control it. Our oba, Oni of Ife cannot dictate to us, believe you me. Oni of Ife cannot dictate to the Yoruba youth. Alaafin of Oyo cannot dictate to the Yoruba youth. It is what the youth want that the leadership in Yorubaland will subscribe to. Are you going to go to Oni of Ife and you say to Oni of Ife that we Yoruba youth, we cannot control our police. We want to control our police, and Oni of Ife will say, no, your police must be controlled by Fulani. Is it possible for Oni of Ife to utter such? Now, let us say, peradventure, Oni of Ife said to the Yoruba youth that you cannot control your police. Our police in Yorubaland must be controlled by Fulani. What are you going to do to Oni of Ife? You will kill him there. Because that is injustice. Are we the people controlling the police in the north? In Hausa land? No. So you go to Alaafin of Oyo and you say to Alaafin of Oyo that in all the military barracks, military bases across Yorubaland, it is Hausa Fulani that is the official language. We Yoruba youth cannot work there. We want to work there. What do you think Alaafin of Oyo will tell you? Alaafin of Oyo will tell you that no, you cannot work in the military. It must be Hausa Fulani. Is it possible for Alaafin of Oyo to utter such a word? It is practically unreasonable for that to come out from the mouth of Alaafin of Oyo. So what I'm saying to the Yoruba youth is this: stop looking up to the leadership of Yorubaland for direction. The leaders will not change anything. It is the youth of every society that must change everything. It is us, not Oni of Ife, not Alaafin of Oyo. What do you think is the office, the responsibility of the office of Arion Okakanfo of Yorubaland? It is to safeguard and protect the security of lives and property of the Yoruba people. Now, if we started killing Fulani and the Fulani come with the support of the English to start killing Yoruba people, that is when Arion Okakanfo will defend you. That is what we don't understand. We, the youth, are the strike force. We must strike. If we fail to do, the leadership of Yorubaland will do nothing. So you stop blaming the leaders. You blame yourself, the youth. My parent generation has messed up my life. Are we, our whole generation, are we going to mess up the life of our children? I'm asking you, are we now going to destroy the life of our children? So it is not the Oni of Ife matter. It is not the responsibility of the Alaafin. It is beyond the purview of Arion Okakanfo to take action. You have to understand certain things. When you, young Yoruba, you start blowing up a papa wolf, start blowing off everywhere. The duty and responsibility of the office of Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò is to protect and safeguard the security of lives and properties of the Yoruba people. When Fulanis come with military weapons to kill you, that is when Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò will defend you. Without that, Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò will do nothing. We don't seem to get these things. We don't get it. Look at the number of well-educated Yoruba across the world. We scattered all over the place. And I've said this without number. You can never see the Chinese, their top brain, outside their country. You can never see white Americans with their most brilliant set of people working outside USA. You can never see the English top brain working outside England. You can never see that of Russia working outside Russia. But that of Yoruba, we are all scattered all across the world. Our best brain are not at home to make Yorubaland great. Look at the Fulani in Nigeria. Do you think their top brain are outside their home space? No, they are there in their northwest. They have the best jobs. Even the illiterate Fulani are working the best job in Yorubaland. But what do we have? Yoruba people. We're just wasting away, partying all over the place. That's what we're doing. That's why I said to you that look at what the Oba of Iwo said many, many months ago. He said he's the emir of Yorubaland. What did we do to him? Nothing. So after that, what happened? Oni of Ife made a very fraudulent assertion about Yoruba people. This is one thing I'm saying to young Yoruba. One thing. We made ordinary Yoruba to lead us as our Oba. So we make them a last share Ikeji. We can remove them if they go against our interests. Look at what the Jewish people do to their leaders whenever they go against their interests. They kill them. The same thing the white Americans did to their own leaders. The same thing the English did to their own leader. Go and read the history of Cromwell and how the English treated him and treated his son. They chased his son out of power, King of England. Go and read the history. Go and read what the French people did to their kings in France. Our Oba made a ridiculous statement saying that he's the emir of Yorubaland and we did nothing to him. That was what gave Oni of Ife another boldness to make another ridiculous assertion. When we do nothing. Go and read what the English did to their own Obas. Go. Do the research. And you will see how youths all over the world behave. It is the youth who must act, not your leaders. We can remove Oni of Ife. We can remove him from power. We, the youth of Yorubaland, can remove him. He knows that very well. But when you do nothing, shit will happen to you. Nonsense things will happen to you. I was telling you about the book Professor Olubono from Harvard wrote. It described how Onishijuade was hiding under the chair when Ham Robert came to his house. A whole Oni of Ife. He doesn't even have the security. Can that ever happen to the Queen of England? Go and read about the history of Cromwell. What they did to him, he was once a king. Go and look at what they did to his son. They did not allow his son to take over power after they've killed the guy. We cannot allow our leaders to condemn us to poverty. We cannot. We cannot allow that to happen. We must defend the Yoruba civilization. It is the youth that must fight. Believe you me, it is when you have weapons that the world will respect you. Why is it that everybody in the north are now coming out to attack Tinubu? I said to you time without number, we are conservative Yoruba youth. We play politics. That was when we said to you, when we first had a 90 days campaign, I told you, you cannot vote Atiku because it's not going to protect the interests of the Yoruba. Atiku and Obi are going to protect the interests of Fulani and the Igbo, because these two people do not have any wealth whatsoever. They don't even have human wealth. They are going to destroy us. I said, we play politics with these people. We put Osinbajo in power, and we would deal with Igbo and we would deal with Fulani. That was what we did. I said to you, even before I asked you to vote for Osinbajo, that Awusa Fulani would never allow Tinubu to be president of Nigeria. The liberal Yoruba don't like Tinubu because it's pro-Yoruba to the core. Tinubu is pro-Yoruba. You can never name one individual from the Yoruba PDP who is more pro-Yoruba than Tinubu. Tinubu is our leader. Look at what they're saying from the north about Tinubu. Look at what you think Tinubu is an idiot. He's a fucking strategist. That is the only man that can guarantee Yoruba nation a return to regional government. If not Oduduwa Republic, there is no single soul from the Yoruba PDP that wants regional government. All the Yoruba politicians in the PDP, they want money, but they are so foolish. They are so foolish. They don't know the kind of wealth we have in Apapa Wharf, in Tinker Port, Lagos Stock Exchange, Lagos International Airport, and the tax revenue. If they are brilliant, if they are not foolish, they will back Tinubu. Tinubu as the president of Nigeria, all this horrible Yoruba PDP, they will be hitting big. Because all of us politicians, we want three things. Power to provide service. While providing the service, we make money into our pocket. I'm a politician too. We speak truth to you. I'm a conservative politician, a Yoruba nationalist. No one should call me a tribalist. I'm a nationalist. So you see, Fulani would never allow Tinubu to be president of Nigeria. Tinubu, as the president of Nigeria, would do the same thing that the Fulani have always been doing to protect the interests of Fulani. Tinubu will protect the interests of Yoruba. Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State. He knows the wealth there. He knows the wealth. Yesterday was my mom's birthday. I took her out because I was full with some of my friends. I was full. So I only bought a portion of food in the restaurant that I took her to. And I took the invoice and I showed my mom. We spent £24, 70 something, out of which £4.11 was the VAT collected. And I was showing my mom, you and I consume this food in London. The VAT goes to England. It is part of London. It is reinvested in England. And I said to my mom, you imagine the VAT you pay when you go to a hotel in Yorubaland, the VAT you pay when you consume goods and services, the VAT you pay on all goods and services across Yorubaland, everything goes to Abuja. That's why Yorubaland is poor. She was shaking her head and she agreed with me. We generate so much wealth from Yorubaland. Fulani minority sits down. Stop. You come and see the action. Come and see the action. You will know how powerful you are. You go and do that. What am I doing in England? I'm saying to you, what exactly do you think? I have never lived a miserable life in my life until I started living in England, because it is not my country. I can never attain my full human potential. But I respect English. They have taught me self-preservation. That was why we condemned that Igbo girl, saying that anybody that comes to England from Nigeria to school, they will discriminate against you. English don't practice discrimination. What they are doing is self-preservation. Yoruba don't have knowledge of self-preservation. You go to Lagos, in our banks, only 42% Yoruba are working there in Lagos. Go to Enugu, in their banks, 99.9% people working there are Igbo. Go to Sokoto, in their banks, over 80% of people working there are Hausa Fulani. But our banks in Lagos, only 42% of Yoruba working there. Miserable we are. But we can change this with organized violence, use of guns and chemical weapons. We wanted to use chemical weapons to attack Fulani soldiers when they declare Python Dance 3. Did you see them carry it out? No, because they were scared of wildlife. They seized 6 of our drones. 6 of our drones were seized from our home waterways. Fulani seized our drones from our home waterways. Is that not slavery and colonization? Is that not what it is? Fulani have land, but their people are controlling their land. We have water, but federal government is controlling our waterways. The South Side have crude oil. Federal government is controlling it. I was reading the report of this Delta State guy governor yesterday as well. He was saying something about their crude oil. It's ridiculous when people say that the federal government is using crude oil to develop Nigeria. What is crude oil contributing? Less than 30% of the revenue of the federal government. It is Yoruba money that is even the crude oil. But this governor was talking rubbish. But when this stupid, foolish man called himself Jonathan was there, why is it so difficult for him to return Nigeria back to regional government? Because Obama threatened to kill him. The guy doesn't want to die for his own people. Now his children are living miserable life. All of my friends who are Ijo, who they call themselves militant, but I've always been saying to them that they shouldn't call themselves militant. All of my friends, they are suffering now. Some of them will call me and ask me for money. And I said, look, I have never collected money from you. But when you come here, we go out together, you put me up in a hotel, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate that. And I've been warning them. Said, if Jonathan loses the election, they are fucking going to be miserable. And that is what is happening to them. I was telling them that how can you allow Jonathan not to return you to regional government? But they are very crude. And I said this to them in their face. I said, you are crude. You guys are not well educated. That's your problem. The joke, that's what I'm saying. Majority of them just drink. You are not well educated, so you do not even understand your problem. So today, if we have returned back to regional government, these guys will not be broke. I said to them, it is not about you building houses, sleeping with women all over the place, and you go to Russia, you have money for flight ticket all over the world. Think about your own children. Think about their future. Get regional government. Appoint a prime minister for your region. Let him control your wealth. Control your police. You put your people in jobs. Control your military. But if you say that they are giving you amnesty money, when Fulani comes, they will stop it. And that was what Buhari did. They're not telling me that they are broke, but they still have their weapons intact, well-trained guys. They still have their weapons. They are just looking at the situation. They wanted to use the Biafra agitation to strike, but they realized that the Igbo were just propagandists. They told me all of this. When they said to me about Asari Dokubo, they said to me, Asari Dokubo doesn't have men anymore. That is not in action. And that is the truth. But I do respect Asari Dokubo anyway. He has played his whole role. So you see what is going on, folks. Think about it. Oil, land, and water. God gave the Hausa Fulani more land. He gave us water. The people of the Niger Delta, they have crude oil. Federal government controls the crude oil. Federal government controls our waterways, but it is not controlling the land. It's not as if federal government is controlling crude oil and waterways. Fulani are actually controlling this. People who do not have crude oil. So how do you think Fulani have been able to do it? Through the English. English is behind Fulani. So Yoruba, you must get somebody behind you. We must do away with the fucking Lebanese that are all over Yorubaland. They cannot help us when we are having problems in Nigeria. Lebanese are not respected by anybody. They cannot change the course of history. But if we relate with the people in Israel, if we support the Jewish people, if we support their rights to exist, they can influence decisions that will pay the Yoruba nation. So we must work with these people rather than be working with fucking Lebanese, taking possession of our businesses. People who have no value to us. They've taken our oil, they've taken our waterways because they have the support of the English. English are the people behind them. And like I said to you, the Fulani just take power. The Igbo always vote for them. To deal with this situation, they will never support Tinubu. This is what I'm saying. Somebody said to me that Tinubu is in London, that I should come and meet Tinubu. But I know what they wanted to do. They just want to introduce me and take me down to Tinubu and say, Tinubu, I'll let you grant somebody. I know. I said, no, Tinubu has not called me. If Tinubu knows how to contact me, if Tinubu wants to have discussion with me, he will call me. I'm not going to meet Tinubu. I said to them, that's not how we roll in YYF. We do what we have to do. We don't have to know people. We don't have to meet people. We are changing the mind of young Yoruba. It has been our target. The first thing you need to do to cause revolution is the state of mind of the young people. And that is what we've been able to do. We are now going to fight with chemical weapons and biological weapons as well as conventional weapons. That's why you see all of these things that I said. I've just sent an email to CIA I think 2 days ago. I was talking to them about my current campaign. I'm not foolish. I need CIA to support me. If I can get their support, you'll see me in Lagos. You see me everywhere. Because of the nonsense that is going on, Fulani in power, I come down, they arrest me and put me in prison. They will not try me. They will just fucked up my life there. But we know we're smarter than them. We're smarter than them. So they will never allow Tinubu to be in power. Igbo don't want Yoruba. Forget it. Name that Yoruba, they don't want it. Tomorrow, if Fulani say they want Benga Daniel to be the candidate of the APC, everybody knows Benga Daniel is an Isoko man. His father is from Isoko. When he became governor of Ogun State, he was killing Yoruba there. Yes, his mom is from Ishagamu, but he's not conservative Yoruba. He's Libra. He's just looking for money. He will never protect our interests. Sonny Arewa Jr., aka Pastor Tunde Bakari, is not a Yoruba man. It's a Fulani man. He remains the only person who attended the Jonathan National Conference who openly and publicly condemned the Yoruba nation. He condemned the Yoruba nation. He said it's not here for Yoruba agenda, but for Nigeria agenda. Foolish man. And he's constantly, continuously pretending and lying to people that it's Yoruba. It's not. These are the kind of people that the Fulani like. Compromise Yoruba. Somebody like Obasanjo. So that's why already they have not even sworn in Buhari second time. Fulani are saying they don't want Tinubu. We've been talking to you for long that the conservative in Yorubaland, they are the only people that are protecting Yoruba. That is why PDP in Yoruba, they are always using propaganda for Tinubu. They are always. And one thing we want to do, look at the way we dealt with this horrible man called Yinka Odumaki. They call themselves Afenifere and Ayobanjo, useless, hopeless people. They call themselves Afenifere. They have no clue about self-preservation. They want Obi and Atiku to be president. So Obi and Atiku, are they going to protect the interests of Yoruba? Yeah, they don't want Yoruba or Shibaju. Adebanjo is still calling himself leader of Yoruba. Stupid man that you are. And this horrible man, Yinka Odumaki, idiot people. They call themselves Afenifere. They have no clue about self-preservation. Only Tinubu, Ojali, Tinubu, just because Tinubu didn't put them in power, he didn't give them some leverage. So for them, they must condemn him. They cannot condemn Atiku, who is collecting tax revenue from our port in Lagos. Fulani, am I doing that in London? Am I collecting their money? Am I a big boy in London? Can the English make me rich in their society at the expense of their own children? But all the horrible people, they just open their mouth and call themselves Afenifere. Irresponsible people. People who are not even, they are not even well informed. If Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, all this nonsense Fulani are doing would die a natural death. All these hopeless Afenifere who are looking for money, they will get money under Tinubu. But they believe that they can only get money under Fulani. Fulani will come and give them money. Our generation must change things. Any Yoruba that is working to undermine the greatness of the Yoruba will kill him or her. That is the way the world rolls. Look at what Mayeti Yala is saying. He's saying that Tinubu cannot be president. I keep saying to you, Fulani know the game they are playing, but Otibo, Lagos must be shut down. Look, the Igbo, whenever you see them condemning Fulani, it is part of the propaganda. They are just using that to deceive you. The Igbo and Fulani, they are one-on-one. They always work together. We must shut down Lagos. Lagos is Yorubaland, and we want to level it down, and we are going to rebuild it. We will rebuild it. That is what we must do. If Fulani, if they don't have the backing of the English, they cannot produce ordinary bomb. If they don't have the backing of the English, Fulani cannot produce chemical weapon. But Yoruba, you have well-educated people all across the world that can produce these two weapons. Imagine the doctors in Nigeria. 90% of all registered medical doctors and retired practitioners are all Yoruba. People don't even have doctors. Doctors. Fulani, what do they know about doctors? 90% of the doctors in Nigeria are Yoruba citizens. You can imagine that. These Igbo and Fulani, they don't have any civilization to defend. So they are willing to destroy and ruin our own civilization. And we must fight. Unfortunately, people have to die. You know why people have to die? Because our parents were irresponsible to allow the Igbo to destroy the regional government and not fight back. They are not fighting back. So we have justification to do this. Look at what is going on in our waterways. Illegal shipping, Igbo are bringing all manners of things because we don't have regional government. If we have regional government, at Papa Wharf, 99.9% of people that will be employed there will be Yoruba citizens. Tinkerport, Yoruba alone will be employed there. And because we need to give our children jobs. So Igbo will not be able to control our port. Fulani will not be able to control our port. How will they bring in junks into our society? It will be difficult. But that is if you return to regional government. But the Igbo never want a return to regional government so that they can continue to control our ports, along with Hausa Fulani. So they can continue to control our waterways. So they can continue to control our revenue all across Yorubaland. Igbo and Fulani desire the same thing. So the joker is the extermination of Igbo across Yorubaland. If we kill Igbo in Yorubaland, we are 50% there. The next target will be Hausa Fulani. There will be war in Nigeria. Don't pretend. Don't pretend. Lagos is the battleground. Fulani controls all our wealth in Lagos. So if we shut down Lagos, Fulani will lose all those wealth. Half of the Igbo population are in Yorubaland. Half of their population. If they are 100, 50 of them are in Yorubaland. So if we shut down Lagos, we destroy 50 Igbo population. They will never rise in 50 years to come. So we must shut down Lagos. It must be the battleground. We don't need the others. We don't need the Yoruba political leaders. It is the youth in every society who change the course of history. You see American talking about power sharing. Look at the body language of the Igbo leader after the election. As we speak before May 29. Do you see American talking about power sharing? Is the black people asking whites to share power with them? What is the wealth that the African America is contributing to the economic well-being of America? Nothing. What is their population? Minority. So people who have no wealth, people who are minority cannot dictate for those who have the wealth and who are majority. Forever, the United States of America will be controlled by white race. There's nothing you can do about it. It has nothing to do with racism. It is the reality. But in Yorubaland, minority Fulani have no wealth. Sit down and think about it. What is the revenue that is coming from Hausa Fulani land? They contribute nothing to NNPC revenue because they have no crude oil. They contribute nothing to custom revenue because they have no ports. They contribute nothing much to the taxes collected in Nigeria. What is their contribution to income tax? What is their contribution to education tax? Insignificant. What is their contribution to information technology tax? Insignificant. What is their contribution to VAT? Yet they say they are the majority. Yorubaland alone, we are contributing 80% of VAT. Yet Hausa Fulani say they have the population. Yet VAT is paid by people, human beings. They have no significant contribution. What is their contribution to Nigerian Port Authority? Nothing, because they don't have port. Nimasa, what is the Hausa Fulani contribution? Nothing, because they don't have waterways. Fulani are not contributing anything. So if we shut down Lagos, how is Fulani going to feed? They are stealing your wealth, Yoruba. That's why we are wasting abroad. That's why we are living miserable life abroad. The unitary system is destroying us. So if we do not shut down Lagos, Fulani will continue to be progressive. You talk about Alimajiri. We've done the research. If you round up 100,000 Alimajiri people, you will never find one Fulani there. Alimajiri have Hausa people. Hausa are Alimajiri. All their governors in the north are Fulani. All their senators are Fulani. All their deputy governors are Fulani. All their emirs are Fulani. Yet, Hausa are the majority in the northwest. Hausa people are the majority in the Northwest, but no Hausa governor. Go and do your research. All the 7 governors from Hausa Fulani Northwest, they are all Fulani. All their senators are all Fulani. All their deputy governors are all Fulani. Go and do the research. Minority. And that is what they believe they are going to do for the Yoruba people. That's why they are controlling our police. They say they are they inherited Nigeria from the English. We are going to fuck up English big time. Big time. I practicalize it. I practicalize it. They assaulted me. There's nothing I can do in their country. But I did take revenge in my own space, Lagos. We are the owner of Yorubaland. It is our ancestral home. So we have to stop this Fulani dominating and controlling us. But they are doing it. Folks, don't forget, Fulani can never dominate the Yoruba. They are doing it with the backing of the Igbo. It is the Igbo who are actually the problem. Look, you don't understand this. We are researchers. I'm a social scientist. I've done this. If we deal with Igbo squarely in Yorubaland, you will see how the tide will change in our favor. Igbo are everywhere. Look at the way and manner, look at the hatred the Igbo have for Awolowo. This is one thing I don't understand about Yoruba. Look at the hatred the Igbo have for Awolowo, yet they are always trooping into Awolowo's homeland. If black people have hatred for a white leader, you know how they are going to deal with them. They will just kill them. That was why the police were killing, white police were killing black under Obama regime. They were challenging Obama authority. They don't want it. But do you hear police killing black people since President Trump became president? No, they have their country back. That is it. You have to kill to get what has been taken away from you back. Learn from white Americans. We Yoruba, we are not going to form our friendship based on skin color. I gave a research and I give the backing. Only 5,000 Yoruba were taken to America. Only 5,000. When over 1 million Yoruba were taken to Brazil. Only 5,000 Yoruba were taken to America. The majority of Yoruba in the diaspora are in Brazil. We must have a very good relationship with Brazil. Regardless of their skin color as white. African Americans are not Yoruba, and Yoruba people are not black people. I've said this and I emphasize it again. Yoruba people, we are Yoruba people first and last. We're not black people. People who can categorize themselves as black are African Americans. People who can categorize themselves as white are white Americans. Because these two races, they left their indigenous homeland. The white in America, they left the European continent. They moved down to America. When they got there, they became white Americans because they were separate. English, French, Germans, Polish, Portuguese, Irish, and the rest of them. They left the European country and moved to America. When they got there, they became one race, white race. The same thing in African America. They left the various African countries as slaves, unfortunately. So when they got to America, they became black. You Yoruba, you cannot describe yourself as black. We are Yoruba first and last. And this must be well explained. And this must be clearly stated. We Yoruba, we're not African American. We're not black people. We're Yoruba first and last. And we cannot form relationship on the skin color. The majority of people in Brazil who are black blood in them are Yoruba people. And these are the people that we must relate with. Not African American. And I have to emphasize that. I don't form friendship based on skin color. We must build relationship based on self-interest. Self-interest matters. You see the Yoruba Libra, they will shout when black are being killed in America, they will say Black Lives Matters in America. SAS are killing Yoruba people. How many people are saying Yoruba Lives Matter? And it's so ridiculous. The majority whites are the people killing minority black in America. So you expect that to happen. Majority always dominates minority. But what is the case in Nigeria? Minority Fulani are killing majority Yoruba, Don't you see slavery in that? Fulani has the backing of the Igbo to get into power. To remain or to retain that power, Fulani enlists the support of the English. The English people are always unjust. Believe me, they are not fair. I have read enough about them. They are not fair. They take advantage of unfairness situation. That is why they are supporting the Fulani. They are always reminding the Fulani that, look, you know you are minority. If you don't give us this contract, if you don't buy so and so stuff from us, we will not back you. That is what the English are saying to the Fulani. So Fulani knows that if the English withdraw their support, they are exposed. The English will tell Fulani that, look, we will make you to lose Nigeria if we cannot control this oil. If we cannot control the waterways in Yorubaland, you must give our company the business. That is how the English are supporting the Fulani. What we are saying to Young Yoruba is this: we must embrace the state of Israel. We must embrace them. They have human capital. We can gain from them. They can lobby the United States of America on our behalf. So we support the Zionist movement. Self-interest. We must have super special relationship with the United States of America. Fulani, with the backing of the English, they take 90% of our wealth. 90% of our wealth. We get back only 8%. Now, if we get to be closer to the state of Israel, we get to form a super special relationship with the United States, we give them, nothing is free. We give them 10%, we keep 90% for ourselves. We are simply 60 million within Nigeria. Outside Nigeria, the Yoruba, we are almost 200 million. But within Nigeria, we are 60 million. So the 90% that we get will favor us. The 10% we are going to give the United States of America, in return, America will give us military support. So we sign military pact with America. Now that the Fulani police have purchased TISA from UK TISA to come and kill you Yoruba, under Oduduwa Republic, we'll get our weapon from America. That is part of the 10% that we're going to give them. Under Oduduwa Republic, our infrastructural project will bring in American companies to come and help us to do it. This way, America will continue to protect us. The same way America is always supporting the state of Israel. The same way America is always supporting Saudi Arabia. We also have a Holy Land, Ilefe. So we have the support of America. It's good for us. It's good for us. Fulani are dominating us because of the support the Igbo give them politically. So when they retain that political support of the Igbo, then they go to the English to get military support. So you see, the Igbo don't have a Papa Wolf that we have. The Igbo don't have Tinkapot that we have. The Igbo don't have Lagos Stock Exchange that we have. The Igbo don't have Lagos International Airport that we have. The Igbo don't have the kind of tax revenue that we have. And they want to continue to take our money. So what happened? The Igbo give political support to the Fulani. So Fulani takes all this money and share it with the Igbo. Then the Fulani realizes that the Yoruba are very difficult people. They will not let go of their wealth. They will fight us back. So the Fulani quickly run to the English and get military support from the English. So when the Fulani come with guns to Tinubu, they gun to gun with Oni, they push gun at Alafin, they get scared. Now it is now our responsibility. Fulani, they are afraid to die. Igbo, they are afraid to die. Even the irresponsible, self-serving career politicians that the Fulani have enlisted their support, their own people, they are also afraid to die. All of us are afraid to die, and we must kill ourselves to get the freedom for the Yoruba nation. In the process, people will die, but we are going to get our freedom, and our children will live a better life. But we cannot get our freedom without getting the support of the United States. Don't say it because they are white. Self-interest. Think. Self-interest. Look at I was talking to a governor, a current sitting governor of Yorubaland, and I was saying to the governor that we must take pharmaceutical sector away from the Igbo, that the Igbo must not control our pharmaceutical sector. The governor told me that no, they don't. Our hospital don't buy drugs from the Igbo. We buy drugs from the Indians. 80% of drug distribution in Yorubaland is being done by the Indian. We can give the state of Israel such a business. What are we benefiting from India? If we have problem in the world, what can the Indian people do for us? Nothing. So if we give American company or Israeli company 80% of them to distribute drugs in Yorubaland, don't you know they have interest to protect in our land? They will support us with military weapons if Fulani want to harass us with the support of the English. Self-interest matters. How can we allow India to control 80% of our drug distribution in Yorubaland? If we have problem now, can India speak on our behalf to the world? No. So folks, you think about self-interest. Give that business to English American company or to Israeli company to control, let's say 50% of our drug distribution. The remaining is controlled by Yoruba people. Israel will support us military-wise. They will speak on our behalf to the world because they are making money out of our homeland. America makes such a money, they will support us. Yoruba, you don't understand self-interest. Self-interest matters in anything that you do. It is the self-interest of the Igbo to retain the unitary system. If the unitary system continues, the Igbo will be able to come to Yorubaland and do armed robbery. If the unity system continues, the Igbo will be able to come to Yorubaland and kidnap your people and sell fake drug and vandalize our spaces and involve in prostitution, human trafficking, drug trafficking. If the unity system continues, the Igbo will be able to come into Yorubaland and do whatever they like. Self-interest. So it is in the self-interest of the Igbo for this unity system to continue. If the unity system continues, the Hausa Fulani will continue to control our police. Self-interest. If the unity system continues, Hausa Fulani will continue to dominate our military. They will continue to appoint themselves as the Director General or Controller General of Custom. Fulani will continue to control our custom. If unity system continues, self-interest. If we return to regional government, the Yoruba will not allow Igbo criminals to come into our space. Self-interest. If we return to regional government, the Yoruba citizen will be the first priority on all jobs in Yorubaland. Self-interest. If we go back to regional government, Yoruba will control their police. Yoruba will control their military. Yoruba will control their port. Yoruba will control their immigration. Yoruba will control their custom. Yoruba will control all the tax revenue in Yorubaland. Self-interest. Self-interest matters. Because the unity system does not need Yoruba nation, we must go to war. And we must kill Igbo and Fulani. Because the unity system does not pay the Yoruba nation, we must sever relationship with Lebanese. The Lebanese people in Yoruba, we must sever relationship with them. They can no longer control our construction. They can no longer take huge percentage of our business interests in Yoruba. Because if anything happens to the Yoruba nation, the Lebanon as a nation cannot speak for us. They are not powerful in the League of Nations. It is self-interest for us to take the 80% distribution of our drugs away from the Indians and take it and give it to people like Israel, give it to people like America, so that when anything happens to Yoruba nation, they will think about the business interests and they will speak on our behalf. You get it, folks? We need people like Tinubu. We need people like Shibadu. We need people like Fashola. But you think Fulani will allow Tinubu to be president of Nigeria? You must be a joker. You think Fulani will allow Shibadu to be president of Nigeria? You think Fulani will allow somebody like Fashola? You know something about Fashola? 10 times Igbo made assassination attempts on Fashola as a sitting governor. Igbo, because of his policy. Fashola was protecting the interests of the Yoruba. Igbo want him dead. 10 assassination attempts. Fashola don't like Igbo. By the way, let me just tell you. You know, that was why he said to them, he asked them, why is it so difficult for Igbo people to develop their space? He raised the question, is it because of lack of human capital? You remember that video when the Igbo were condemning him for deporting Igbo from Lagos? He called all of them and he was asking them that valid question. Why is it an Herculean tax for you, Igbo, to make Igbo land great? He asked them and he answered the question. He said, is it because of lack of human capital? And that is their major problem. Igbo nation is the only nation in Nigeria that is not grateful to God Almighty for whatever God has given to that nation. They lack human capital because Zik refused to enlighten them. He refused to educate them. And And we must now finish the work of what our Lord started. We must exterminate Igbo from across Yorubaland. I'm going to see you tomorrow, folks, guys. I'll see you. Thank you very much. And do not forget to make donation. Please, we need your donation. It is not easy to do what we're doing. So you can see the link to make donation for what we're doing. We will fight and defend Yoruba civilization. They are flagging us easily. You see, you need to remember these guys. If you do not love and like this, Igbo will just flag you. We remove 560 Igbo from our YouTube. I circulated their names. 560. They are always coming massively to flag us because they don't want us to speak the truth. They are the #1 problem of the Yoruba nation. The Igbo nation is the #1 problem of the Yoruba nation. And if we are able to deal with them precisely and surgically, believe you me, we're done. We must take every market store away from them across Yorubaland. We must do this, folks. We must do this. So they will flag you if we don't say anything. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.